Okay, we're back and it's Bounce Around Charleston. Now, you just saw what I saw. Living legends. Remus Harper, Earl Grant, and Otto German. And here we are with another living legend of midnight basketball, played at the College of Charleston, Jermel President. Welcome to Bounce Around Charleston.
Thanks for having me.
And you're here to basically carry on the flow, but to talk about the Dae Foundation.
Right.
Which is a part of a basketball experience also.
It is.
Tell us about it.
Well, first, I'll take you back a little bit and tell you about midnight basketball, which you just mentioned, in Reverend Dallas, and how all this come about to me going to the College of Charleston. Mm-hmm. Midnight basketball was a very big program here in the city of Charleston that we played at midnight.
Correct.
And it kind of helped some of the athletes locally to experience some college exposure and obviously to get placed in college. Myself, Melvin Watson, came through that program, and I eventually signed with the College of Charleston, which was a great opportunity for me locally. Mm-hmm. And through that whole experience, I started the Dae Foundation, which kind of the same thing midnight basketball do, was giving kids exposure. But I kind of tweaked it a little bit because I kind of see some of the loopholes that what I didn't have that kind of halted my career.
Okay.
And I kind of put some of those ingredients into something I call the oatmeal recipe.
So the oatmeal recipe, when I heard that, I thought it was a recipe with oatmeal. So tell us about that.
Well, actually, it is a recipe for oatmeal, and there's two folds to the oatmeal recipe.
Okay.
The recipe part of it is our approach to our student athletes, which is 7 to 9, 10 to 12, and 13 to 17.
Those are the ages.
Those are the ages.
Okay.
And our sports obviously is basketball. So in the 7 to 9 department, we teach kids the weight of the basketball, the length of the court. In the 10 to 12, it's the application part of it. In the 13 to 17, it's the community involvement, which is MUSC, Kaplan University, all these different ingredients that kids will need as far as ACT help, basketball, nutrition, and skill development. Those things, we implement that into the recipe part. Now the oatmeal, which our body needs, protein.
Okay.
Helps our muscles go.
Okay.
Oatmeal is a diet that's enriched in protein, and it's less expensive. So we use those three things and have kids eat the oatmeal in addition to the regimen, and that's why it's called an oatmeal recipe.
So it's like a well-rounded situation. They're learning everything they need to know, not just about basketball, but about life itself.
It's called education, nutrition, and skill development.
Wow. Okay, so what have you seen in the process of the children? What have you seen?
I've seen a lot. I see. Well, what we do mostly, because we start at a development age of 7 to 9, 10 to 12. So mostly in those ages, even though we're dealing with the kid, our main focus is conditioning and educating the parent on the do's and don'ts of how to have a student athlete and how to approach them and get them from point A to point B.
Oh, so you also deal with the parents also?
We have to, because if the kids are receiving information at 7 to 9, they got to also be able to relate with their parents, and the parents got to also be able to relate the information to them. So the parents are very much informed of where to put their kid, what school to take them to, how to deal with coaches. You know what I mean? When adverse situations, nutrition-wise. So we also have we work with Janet Carter, who's a dietitian at MUSC. She gives us a whole a breakdown of what kids should eat and how they should eat when they're in their sport.
I heard something you said earlier. From your experience of midnight basketball, you saw some things that you could add to help the process even go further.
Right.
And that's what you did.
That's what I did. I was an exceptional athlete. I was a great athlete, but I played my whole career with a right hand. I never had a left hand because I didn't spend time into developing that. That's where the skill development part comes in at. Now, being that I'm a guard and I'm 6 foot on a good day, right? So nutritional wise, I was always a heavy, guard, but nutrition wise, I ate fast food, I did a lot of things that when I got on the court, I would shut down in third, fourth quarter.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So the nutrition-wise was a break. And also education. Not education is reading and writing, but just education as far as people don't understand, the state of South Carolina and North Carolina works on a 7-point scale. Everybody else works on a 10-point scale. So when recruiters are coming in to recruit kids, if they look at here in South Carolina, you got a 2.0, and someone in Virginia got a 2.0, to that recruiter, you got a 1.7.
Wow.
And the Virginia got a 2.0. So just educating the parents in the community on how to prevent those things from happening and falling into the to the rut.
Okay, what about, quickly, what is your success rate? What has it been?
Success rate, well, you can't measure education when you're educating the family or community on what to do. If I would say we place every kid in college, and I would be telling the fib, but every kid come through our program are educated on what they need to do and how they need to do it.
Okay, so if the community needs to get in contact with you, what do they need to do?
They go to Dae Foundation, DAE Foundation.org, or I can be reached at 843-330-3191.
Okay. Well, we thank you for being here on Bounce Around Charleston. This has been a wonderful event talking about the living legends, Remus Hopper, Earl Grant, and Otto Jermel. And here we are, Jermel President and the Dae Foundation. We'll be right back after this break.